Okay, here she comes.
Okay.
What do you think now?
Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you.
There's no more echoing. Okay, good.
Okay, awesome. Sometimes
Thank
a
you,
little
everyone.
reset.
I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's going on, and I'm trying to, everything that can go wrong will. So, okay. So, welcome, everyone. I am Carlas Renee, and basically, after just being on the live, I think it was last week that you were talking about the retreat. So after being on your live, I really feel like, because my experience was what I would consider sacred, and after you hear, you know, how my experience was, then I'm sure you would find that as well too. Everybody who's here, I'm sure we're all here on a journey. I know that I am, and I just want to start off by saying how I met LaShun. It was so, I don't believe in coincidences anymore, because I really believe, like everyone who comes into your life is there for a reason. And even more so now that I'm on this journey. But I was just scrolling through Instagram, and I saw I think it was an advertisement for a healing retreat, but it was also for the Priestess program that she has as well. And that stuck out to me because at the time I was reading a book about the Priestess transmissions, which is a great book. Sorry, shameful plug, but it's not my book, but whatever. So I was reading a book, and it came, I contacted her about the training program. And she told me about, we started discussing the yoni steams and everything. Going into the ritual, I had never received a yoni steam before. I had only heard the benefits of increased sexual pleasure, or just detoxifying, you know, if you wanted to detoxify that area. So I had never known that there were actual healing benefits to a yoni steam, and I really didn't know what it involved. So, but after, I'll say, and I'm only going to touch on the ego for a little bit, like for a second. I have to mention it because LaShun mentioned it last week, and how the ego can it could prevent you from stepping out into something new, something unknown, only out of protection, right? So I was so excited for this retreat all week. I was so looking forward to it, but sort of like the last 3 days before the retreat, I started getting like really sick, and it was all in my stomach area. I was getting really sick, and on the day of the retreat, I was so tired that day, and I was so like, oh man, I hate to cancel, because I've really been looking forward to this. I really believed like it's part of my healing, because I am going through a healing journey. And after LaShun explained all the benefits to me, I was so excited. So I texted LaShun, and I was like, you know, I'm sorry, LaShun, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm not feeling well. I don't know what's going on with my stomach. And and at first she was just like, okay, well, you know, feel better, and I'll, you know, see you next time. But then I'm so thankful that you did this, LaShun. She sent a follow-up text asking me, you know, if I was sure, and that, you know, that could be, I forget how you worded it, but you were basically saying my symptoms could be really my body like telling me that I really needed the ritual, like I really needed it. And so I pushed myself out the door, driving over there, so not wanting to go. But when I finally get there, this was the most amazing, the most beautiful thing, I think, out of the whole experience, were the women who were there. All of the women, I had never met them before. All of the women were so warm and receiving, and just welcoming and loving. And that's, sisterhood is something that is not very popular or common in the Black community, especially with people who you do not know. And so to be received like that was just so amazing. And that just made me feel like everything I was feeling, I left it at the door. And I immediately felt welcome, calm, and relaxed. And, you know, from the time that the very beginning, I didn't know what to expect. Actually didn't know it would be so much detail going into it. When we were sitting down and everyone met each other in the beginning, and then we went into a different room where, you know, you're in a circle of women. And it was what was that ceremony? The pouring, the libation ceremony?
Yeah, we did with libations.
Right before we started to eat. Now that was very important to me. I mean, it was very touching to me because I had literally just lost a cousin the day before. And so to be able to call out, I had never participated in a ceremony, a ritual like that. So to be able to call out the names of my loved ones, and also on my journey, I'm finding out and I'm becoming more like closer to my ancestors and connecting with them. So learning that was very major to me and very touching. I'm sorry, I need water. So from that ceremony and being able to eat with the other women and talk and get to know some women who had been there, you know, experienced the ritual more than once. And so they were telling me about their experiences. We were just talking about, you know, just life and everything that we're experiencing in the process that we're in right now in our life. And being able to sit and write and think about the things that you want to let go. That was major. Not only writing it down, but the specific way that you fold the paper away from you. And I'm mentioning everything, I'm just saying everything that I'm telling you and I'm talking about now, it's going to make sense in the end. I'm touching on little minute things that are small, but they actually mean something in the end. So in folding the paper, you fold it away from you and you write down everything that you wanted to let go. And then we were given bay leaves, and I didn't understand why bay leaves, why use bay leaves. And I didn't understand that until afterwards. Of course, I looked it up, but LaShun explains everything that she does. She explains it throughout the process but being able to write down our manifestations on the bay leaves and still not knowing what I'm doing. I'm just following the process and observing and everything. So I think the one regret that I have was the fact that when we finished eating, we were getting up to go to the fire burning session. And me just jumping up, I'm so excited to go. I just jumped up and I was like in the front, and I was the first person to burn my leaves and to burn my letter. And I hate that I did that because I kind of just like put it in there. And then I was able to see everybody else go through the process and how they released, which was like, okay. It explained a lot, because when I was putting my paper, we go out to the fire burning session where you burn everything that you want to let go, everything you want to release. And while that's burning, you put your bay leaves in of everything you want to manifest. My bay leaves started popping. And it like freaked me out. I was like, oh, wait, whoa. So I'm jumping back, not knowing that meant the spirits were there, or just,
Yeah.
Okay. So did not know
that your requests are being heard, and that your ancestors really are in attendance at that point as well.
Right, right. So, and I had a lot of that. And instead of enjoying the moment, I kind of like jumped back and was like, oh, whoa, you know, trying to shy away from it or whatever. But I mean, lesson learned, I'll know better the next time. But that was still important. Now, prior to this whole ritual and being able to see all the other ladies like release, of course everyone had their own stuff that they were releasing and manifesting, but to see the passion, the everyone was operating on a soul level, and it was just an amazing, and spirit was so in the
Yes.
space. Spirit was all around. And I'm saying, I say refer to God as spirit because I feel like God is used too loosely. So to me, that's a sacred term. So I refer to it as spirit. It doesn't mean that I'm saying something that's not of God. It's God. So just in case somebody has, I've been asked that before. So, but you could feel like spirit moving all through. People were crying. I started crying looking at other people. I mean, because you could actually like feel it. It was so intense and overwhelming. It was definitely a sacred event. And so, of course, after all of that was done, and we go to the Yanni, at that point, honestly, I could have gone and I would have been good at that point. After that, the ritual, I didn't need the steam in my mind because I'm like, this was so powerful. But to go further and to go into the Yanni steam rooms, that was my first experience. And it was a little scary at first. I'm not going to lie. It was a little scary. It was off-putting, not scary, just off-putting. But the sound therapy that was done while you were sitting, and we were supposed to be writing down. I forget what we were writing down at that point, what we were supposed to be writing down.
At that time, you was writing down more of your manifestation, being more deliberate and being and expanding it out. Because on the bay leaves, you just get to write a word or two, and then but on the stool itself, when I gave you the parchment paper, you were able to expand on your manifestation. It was a manifestation retreat, and what I did was, it's your first time coming, I did things in reverse. What I did was we released first, and then we honed in on the manifestation. So,
Okay,
but
yeah.
but you
Yeah.
didn't know that, but I knew that.
Okay. Okay.
And I
So
actually like the way that I did it too. So probably
yeah,
do it that way again.
I love the way that you did it because it was after all of that, that was an emotional event. I couldn't imagine going from the Yanni to the fire burning because you're so relaxed after. It's like everything you just went through, all of that built up energy. It's like a on the Yanni.
Yes,
Yeah, on the
yes.
Yanni pot. And you really feel completely light afterwards. Like I didn't get a chance to write anything down because it was that it was that it was a spiritual experience. It really was. It was a spiritual experience. And I'm not going to say that it was an experience that I felt immediately from the Yanni, aside from me feeling just completely cleansed. I want to share, it wasn't exactly that made me and made me believe and feel that this is a spiritual and sacred event. It's the what happened a week later that made me feel like wow, wow, wow. And so the whole retreat, the whole experience, the Yanni steam, being in there with other women, I felt like I was back in Africa, and we were all these strong, powerful women, sitting. At first, I was shying away from the steam because it was like it was a little hot. I'm not gonna lie, it was hot. And the girl next to me, she came up, she pulled up her robe and just sat down, and she was just like, and that just I was like, yes, we're queens. Let me sit up. I can do this. And I felt so empowered being able to be around like other women doing the same thing. it was a spiritual event. And so I do want to share this, my experience. Everyone has their own experiences. I just want to share my experience after the retreat happened for me. And that was a week later. And LaShun, do you mind if I share?
Sure, but there's one thing
Okay.
that you share with me directly after the yoni steam, because you was having the stomach issues.
Oh, yeah. Stomach completely, I felt amazing. Stomach was no longer hurting. I don't know what that was, but whatever it was, it was going to prevent me from, I mean, it was like a nauseous type of cramping feeling. And I don't know, because there was some really good vegetarian food there cooked by yours truly. That food was amazing, and that was only the cherry on top. But yeah, that my stomach, I felt like a new person. I felt weightless. I felt much lighter coming out of there. And I really believe that it was the environment, the type of sacred environment that it is, and the beautiful souls that were there participating in that experience at the same time, for spirit to just come and do its work, its own individual healing, cleansing work for all of us. And I know that that had to been everyone had to have some type of healing there that day. And I mean, with any of them, but that was my experience. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. What else did you want to share?
Well, I just wanted to, should I share this? I mean, I just think it would, I don't know. I want to share it because it so directly connects to my experience with the retreat. And it was a week later. Yeah, I'm going to share it. A week later, a week later, I started, I started cramping out of the blue, just, cramping. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. I ignored it. The next day, it got worse. So I went to lay down in the bed. While I was laying there, something told me, which my higher self told me, write down a list of all of your sexual partners that you've ever had. So I'm like thinking to myself, okay, why? So I wrote it down on a piece of paper, a list. And guys, if you don't know, if someone wants to know when their spirit or ego, and I have to remind myself this all the time, because even when things come to us in the universe, like from an animal, butterfly, an experience, whatever, how I always know that it's spirit is that something inside of me moves. There's a feeling, there's an emotion, there's something that gets my attention, and it's significant. So that's how I know it's spirit. And this is the thing. So write the list down, and I was told to fold the list up away from me. Nothing like this. I've never done anything like this before. So I folded up, and it said, okay, go outside and burn it. And now I go outside in my backyard all the time to ground myself, bare feet and grass, best grounding technique ever. Go out there to do that. So I'm like, okay. I go, and I'm obedient, and I trust and obey, just obedient. I go, I burn it, fold it, do away with it, and that was it. And so I'm like, okay. And so when I release some type of energy to the universe, I always ask for it to be cleansed, to be healed, and be turned into light and released to the universe. So that is what I did. The next, that night, I was cramping. The cramping was a little bit more severe. And I'm not trying to give any TMI, but like the following day, it would come and go. It was sporadic. The following day, while making love to my husband, we're all grown, so whatever, making love, it was painful. It almost felt like my first time. And I'm just like, excuse me, I'm sorry. It almost felt like my first time. And I'm telling him, like, no, something's not right. Something's going on here. At this point, I'm ready to go make a doctor's appointment, because I'm like, something's going on with me. I don't know what it is. And I get the word cleansing. I just hear cleansing. You're going, your womb is being cleansed. And so I was like, oh, wow, that's what that was. So the following day, I journal is so healing, and I do it every day. I try to make myself do it every day, but I was writing about it, and I was told that my womb was being cleansed from all of the attachments that I had previously, and that God was just cleansing me out, and that was what was going on. So it's almost like it was restored to its natural state. And that's the most beautiful thing. And I don't know if that would have happened had I not gone to the retreat. I don't know had that not, I know that probably would not have happened had I just happened to meet LaShun. And even when I met her, Yanni's team was, I wasn't contacting her about a retreat. Mind you, I was contacting her about something altogether differently. So this is what I mean when I'm saying like the universe is working with you.
Mm-hmm.
Our souls already know what it needs to heal. So when it's pulling you to something or something to bring something to you, trust and obey. If you hear something or have that feeling on the inside of you, you know, like just trust and obey. And I have to say that I appreciate you, LaShun, and I appreciate what you're doing to help women heal, because it's really an amazing thing.
Well, thank you. And thank you for your, for your testimony, for sharing your experience. The comments, she's given an amazing description for those thinking about attending a retreat. The description of the retreat was amazing. It was a spiritual experience. And, you gave a great description of how you felt, what happened, and I'm quite sure it's going to touch someone, and they're going to say, well, I've been thinking about going, so now I'm going to go ahead on and go.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for
and
sharing
I'm
your
definitely
experience.
going to continue to
Mm-hmm.
go.
Yeah, and for all the details that you gave, but that's how it needs to be fed. That's what
It has to
happened.
be real. I don't know how to do anything but be real. And if it offends, I don't have no intention to offend. But hey, that's what happened, and that's God working, and that's real. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that I am so glad that you touched on, what happened after the yoni steam, what happened after the session. Sometimes I might not be explaining in the way where women would say, okay, I need to go over there and I need to get some clearing for my womb, because most women do just know, oh, it's supposed to help make your vagina back tight, or it's supposed to help you with this or that. But when I do yoni steams, I'm doing yoni steams more on a spiritual level, not just the physical level. When I pick out those herbs, I'm thinking about those herbs in the spiritual and the physical as far as what energy they bring. So you did an amazing job, explaining that. I mean, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I might have to use some of that.
Use it, honey. Use it. I'm all for women healing. Hey, that's what we have to have, healing. Yeah.
Yeah. So awesome. Did anyone have any questions? I do see, well, I know Ankh has never been to one of the retreats. Burnett has, Kizzy has, Karina hasn't been to one of the retreats, Kai has. So some ladies have, some ladies haven't. Burnett said, very good testimony. You shared how it was, what happened, and how I like it now. Okay, you share your experience, strength, and hope. It was very powerful. Thank you, Burnett. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll have you on next. Oh, when is the next one? The next one actually is coming up on June the 25th. It's the summer solstice retreat. The summer solstice is actually, I think it's on the 21st or the 22nd, but that's midweek. So it's going to be on the 25th, which is a Saturday. And summer is all about growth and abundance. So that retreat is going to be about growth and abundance. We'll have, refreshments just like last time. We're going to be doing a manifestation meditation. We will do a release ceremony, and then we're going to do a yoni steam again with some special herbs that I'm putting together just for the summer solstice. So, yeah, so that's June the 25th. Oh, and the other thing is this retreat is only $111. That's 111, baby. So 111.
Or is there
Okay.
a certain amount, a number of people that you like to have at your retreat, or?
Well, I have 9 yoni stools, so I like to
Okay.
have 9. So I like to have 9.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
One time I kind of, well, I mean, the least amount out is 5, because that's for that one room where the queen yoni seats are. So at least 5. But if I don't have at least 5, but 9. And for the last 3 retreats, I've had 9. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I try to keep it at that. One time I actually overbooked.
I have to go on there. I keep forgetting I'm going on there after I get off of here to make my spot.
Yeah, so don't miss it. So don't miss it, ladies. So well, thank again, Carlos. Thank you. I really appreciate
You're
you. I really
welcome.
appreciate you coming. I remember what I told you when you was having kind of being a little like, oh no, when I'm come. I said that we need your energy to complete the circle.
Oh, you
Because
said, oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we need your energy to complete the circle. And
Oh.
yeah, if someone
And
is missing, it's not, oh man, it froze on me. It froze on me for a second. Yeah. So when someone is missing, or the energy is not the same. So by
okay.
you being there, that completed the energy, that completes the circle, that completed the collective. And then that's the other thing as well. When we all come together with that same intention of healing,
Right.
that makes the energy, that makes the universe move.
Right.
How they say it, in mysterious ways, that makes the universe move, because we are all there with the same intention, the same goal, to be in this space and go to a more desirable space.
Right.
So yeah, it makes the universe move for us when we do things as a collective.
2 or more of you are gathered in my name.
Yeah. Ashe. Look, Ashe. Okay. Okay, so ladies, I want to thank you for listening again. Carlos, I appreciate you, and thank you for your energy. That was amazing.
Good.
Okay.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Good
Okay.
luck. All
Okay,
right.
thank you. And until next week, y'all have an amazing day.
You too.
Evening.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.